Guten Tag and welcome to Hockenheim, home of the German Grand Prix, for today's practice session. It's a big weekend for a number of our top drivers as they look for success on home soil. We'll be getting underway shortly to see how they get on. A lot of focus is naturally on the drivers, but it's really important for the mechanics to get everything right as well, as one little mistake could cost the team and one of their drivers the race result.
These guys are so meticulous and they train and perfect everything that they do. Without question, they feel the pressure in the same way as the drivers, and they share the responsibility to ensure that the car makes it to the end of the race.
Fantastic. That was the fastest lap.
An interesting practice session. Welcome back to qualifying, where we're waiting for the lights to turn green in the pit lane to signify the start of the session here at the Hockenheim Ring for this weekend's German Grand Prix. This is a track that tends to ask quite a lot of the tyres, both front and rear. So is it fair to say a great deal of management will be needed in order to do well here?
Tyre wear will probably be the dominating factor around this track. It's so easy to use up the life in your tyres as you seek to find the lap time. If you have a good balance to begin with, like the Mercedes and Red Bull, you'll always stand a better chance.
grid is all set then for the race tomorrow. But before we go, let's quickly remind ourselves of our top three, who are a Williams, Hamilton and Nico Rosberg. The grid is set then, so that just leaves the race itself. Join us tomorrow, where There's nowhere at all I'd rather be today than here at Hockenheim for the German Grand Prix. We have an incredibly competitive field this year, which means we should be in for a treat. And judging by the sea of people filling the grandstands, there's a fair-sized chunk of Germany that agrees with me. We're racing in the Rhine Valley this weekend at the home of many of the sport's finest competitors. The 2.8-mile Hockenheim ring requires precision through the technical stadium section and great raw speed down the long, flat-out curve towards the popular overtaking zone of the Turn 6 hairpin. Watch out for a lot of wheel-to-wheel action there today. And joining me on this journey today is Anthony Davidson. Now, Ant, it's the home race for Mercedes, so tell me from your perspective as a driver, does a team's attitude change for their home race? Obviously a home victory, particularly good marketing, you'd think, play on the national pride side of things a bit, but do you see that all come through at all?
Not really, to be honest. I mean, you do get a bit of a pep talk, I suppose. There's certainly somewhat of a raised sense of importance when it's the team's home race, but at the end of the day, we're all professionals. I mean, I want to win every race I compete in, and the teams want to win every race they compete in too. So the stakes are unbelievably high at this level. I mean, the effort is 100%, 24/7 all year round, whether it's your home Grand Prix or not.
You've done well to put it on pole, but we've still got work to do. Trying to cover the inside line off the start.
Well then, after an exciting qualifying session yesterday, let's take a look at how the cars line up. It's Williams in pole position then, and it's Lewis Hamilton alongside. Looking down the rest of the grid, we have Rosberg, Ricciardo, Sebastian Vettel and Verstappen, Raikkonen, Massa, Button and Fernando Alonso, Sainz, Perez, Daniel Kvyat and Hülkenberg, Grosjean, Wehrlein, Esteban Gutierrez and Rio Haryanto, Ericsson and Magnussen. Felipe Nasser and Jolyon Palmer rounds off the grid. Now it's almost time to lights out, so let's go down to the track.
This is your final lap of the race. Okay, distance to teammate, 12.9 seconds. Nice work, that's P1. Race win, well done.
A great win then for the Williams team today. Tell me, Ant, what was the key to this success?
Well, I think the track conditions just really suited their car today. Wind, track temperature, you name it. These cars come alive when the tyres are just at the right temperature. So the more easily you can keep them there, the better your race tends to go. And that's exactly what happened. Their car just looks so comfortable out there.
And I can see our drivers making their way out now. It's been a sublime team performance, and it's the culmination of a lot of hard work. Williams are your winners today. And now let's take a look at the driver's standings. A strong race then for our championship leader. That's extended their advantage at the top of the standings. Moving on to the driver of the day then. Anthony Davidson, who would you go for?
It's got to be Jolyon Palmer. He was in another league for me today. Really impressive stuff.
On to the constructors then. Mercedes have extended their lead at the top of the standings. After all that excitement, it's time for a lie down, I think. Thanks for joining us, and goodbye until the